A tip almost taken away by Fudd, goes out of bounds. And we're going to stay on this side of the floor. That was 6'6" Panya Davis, transfer from New Mexico Junior College, jumping it up in the circle. That'll be a fun matchup to watch in the paint between her and Sarah Williams.
A great battle in there.
A.K. Arnold getting this offense underway. UConn coming off a victory over Louisville, the number 20 ranked team in the country. Here is Strong, letting it fly from three. That is no good. An offensive rebound, keeping it alive by Azzi Fudd. The position underneath, Sarah Williams can't connect. And another opportunity for the Huskies. Slicing through, a lane opened up for Arnold. She couldn't convert on the lay-in, and we're still staying right here on the first possession.
Yeah, Florida State, they cannot give 4 opportunities in 1 possession to the defending national champs.
Azzi Fudd off target, and finally that comes to an end for Florida State on their first possession of the game. A team that led the nation last year in points per game, nearly 87 per contest, and there is Williams taking off with the extension.
And that's what she's done all year, is come off the bench and score immediately. Today she gets the start.
New transfer from Texas A&M, one of 6 transfers new to this team after Florida State lost 2/3 of its scoring offense from last year. And Williams needing some help at the free throw line. She's going to put up a mid-range shot. That's no good. Shot 32% from the mid-range last year at Wisconsin. Azzi Fudd, couple dribble pull-up, so pure, knocking down the mid-range.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone who can shoot the ball more beautifully than Azzi Fudd. Just such a sweet release.
Could watch it over and over again. Think about it, going off to sleep every single night, leading into the comfort of your dreams. That's how beautiful that shot is. Sydney Bowles picks up her dribble, 7 to shoot for the Seminoles, spinning and having that blocked by the 2023 Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year is Panya Davis. Back to UConn basketball. Azzi Fudd, another in-rhythm shot. Can't knock it down that time, though, and the Seminoles will clean up the glass. Streaking her way up the floor, Jasmine Shavers, she also has that block.
Bounce as well.
It is dizzying to think of the number of times she has practiced that in a gym. Pump fake, 2 dribble, pull up. Davis wrapped up inside the UConn bench, fired up for Sarah Williams, who brings great
to force that turnover.
Meg, this is going to be a transition for Panya Davis, getting used to the physicality, let alone playing the number 1 team in the country. They're strong, taking
quickly off the dribble.
Just saw there Brooke Wyckoff coaching at her alma mater, now in her 4th official season at the helm. Led this team last year to their first NCAA All-ACC honorees, and Tanaya Latson, who's now at South Carolina. You also have Michaela Timpson, who was on the Indiana Fever last season, and Omaria Gordon. After those free throws, Seminoles basketball again. Ali Kubek letting it fly from 3 along the baseline. And that was something we saw quite a bit of her at Maryland, where she held that team to the Sweet 16 last year, a Maryland native, now at her 3rd school. Fudd will drive, kick here Strong for 3, and she gets the bounce.
What a smart kick there by Fudd to the wide open Strong in the corner, who got the nice friendly home roll.
And some full court pressure from the Huskies as Fudd will now backtrack. Close start here, UConn leading by 2. Here is Shavers launching a 3, and she rattles it home. Shavers had been waiting for that, was 0 for 6 in their last game, 0 for 3 from long range, but she's one of the top 3-point gunners in the Big 12 last season at Texas Tech. Sarah Williams is going to slice her way through, can't finish at the rim, and she's working to find her efficiency at the hoop.
Yeah, this is a different level here of just consistency every day off the Florida State miss.
The trailer Strong for 3, not that time. Skying for the rebound is Shade, but she has it stripped away, and then a foul is
coming in. There's no problem coming up north here at this time of year when it's, what is it, probably 75 down in Tallahassee.
Well, especially for this offense where there's basically no shot. That is a bad shot. But you mentioned
UConn. They've got all kinds of green lights.
Off the miss, clean the glass is Strong. Darting her way to the rim, leaving it off, nearly a 3-point play.
The assist.
It's fun to see those two play off of each other in the same class. They are both juniors. Arnold from Wisconsin, Shade from Indiana. They were both starters their freshman season, took a backseat role last season coming off the bench. Now back in the starting lineup and really play off each other well.
They do. You know, they got thrust into the starting lineup as freshmen because this team was decimated by injuries. So maybe they weren't quite ready for it. Nothing like baptism by fire. But two just workhorses for this team.
Williams, no good from three, and the rebound ripped down by Sarah Strong. Looking up ahead, the playmaker dropping a dunk for this team. That goes back to players like Brianna Stewart or Maya Moore, for example. Here, the steal, Azzi Fudd patient, and she kisses it off glass for two.
UConn going to be much more full court pressure this year because of their depth.
Yeah, Coach Oriema joked earlier this season, I have to remember how to sub again because we were decimated by injury for so many years. There's another rebound for Strong as she weaves up the floor. Two-player game back inside to Strong, whipping a pass to Fudd. She's got it. Exquisite offense by the Huskies.
That's so dangerous on the break. If you can get the ball up the floor quickly, change side of the floor, and then kick it out, defense not ready.
Another steal. Here comes Arnold going strong to the rim.
An outstanding passer.
She had one of the best freshman seasons in UConn history, which says a lot in and of itself. The Big East preseason player of the year named to basically every trophy watch list that exists. Full court pressure by the Huskies, currently in possession of an 8-0 run. Here, Emma Risch bringing the ball up the floor. Spent the last 2 years at Notre Dame, and she turns it right over. Kaylee Heckel, two-player game back to Fudd. But she's going to shuffle her feet and squander that fast break opportunity. But an example, State wants to.
Yeah, UConn going to be much more up-tempo this year than they've been. And Heckel had just entered the game and immediately made an impact with that steal.
Risch now orchestrating this offense past the midway point of this first quarter here in Stores. Risch going to take it one-on-one. Shavers now darting her way into the rim. That is no good. Offensive rebound, Avery Treadwell, who's picked up some big up and in.
Well, that was complete effort there by Treadwell. Credit her for just wanting that ball more than anybody else.
Averaged 2.8 points per game last year, finding more time on the floor as Fudd will miss at the rim. UConn not taking advantage of all the opportunities sent their way, shooting about 30% from the floor right now.
Yeah, they've missed a couple easy layups. A great pass there from El Alfie, not getting the assist.
Bulls had nowhere to go.
But defense is just a mindset. They're very disciplined.
Disciplined, hard workers every single possession. Dropped out inside, Jana El Alfie. UConn finding some good success penetrating, haven't always had the efficiency around the rim.
Quiet season thus far. These couple games had come off a summer injury. It's good for her and her teammates to get her back out on that floor.
Soleil Williams, the crossover, the floater, the finish not there though, and yet another rebound for Sarah Strong. That is 6 here in the first quarter. Finds the sprinting El Alfie, but rejected by Risch.
But a heads-up play by Risch.
Tough feeling as a post player. You're sprinting the floor, going 94 feet. You think you got a lay-in right here? Snatched away. Good work by Risch as UConn gets back into the flow of their offense. Fudd wants that three. Doesn't have it that time. Good box out by Treadwell as she tries to regain control. But right there, Ali Zabel wreaking havoc. And we'll stay lead for the defending national champions, preseason #1. Heckel, the transfer from USC. Second game with the Huskies, and they are synonymous with offense, leading the nation in points per game last year, keeping that same mentality, but they want their defense to lead to offense. Heckel getting the assignment on Soleil Williams, this team's leading scorer and passer. She's going to pull up from three and banks it in.
Wow, how about that? The lefty from the top of the key, banking it in.
She played a completely different style at Texas A&M to continue this pace at the point guard position. She's getting her props from her head coach, Brooke Wyckoff, making that transition. Here is Sarah Strong, 5.6 rebounds and an assist already. Against Louisville, played 38 minutes, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in game number 1 of her sophomore season. UConn continuing with the full court pressure. Tatum Green can't quite handle it. He said, I don't want anybody to get too comfortable. We're looking at small lineups, large lineups, and how everything works together. So keep an eye on for that.
Yeah, he's getting pretty cocky. He's got, what, 15 players on his roster? He hasn't had this many since the late 90s.
Oh, Zabel, the hesitation and explosion to the rim for 2. That was quite the move by Allie Zabel. Working through Davis at the high post. 2 international players, but Alfie says no. Ashlyn Shade ignited the other direction. She can lay it up and in, and the rebound collected by Rich. Rich pushing the pace, tried to split.
And then the nice turn right to the rim.
Kubek in this first quarter trailing 21-13.
After that walk call, Kubek looked at the official as she ran back, and she said, hey, I was pushed.
Alfie hesitates inside. More ball movement around the perimeter by the Huskies. Couple dribble pull-up for Heckel, who drops it through. Heckel won a Big Ten regular season championship last year at USC. In her UConn debut, 14 points on 6 of 12 shooting. She looks comfortable to start off against the number 20 team in the country. Panya Davis lining up a 3, that's no good. And Sarah Strong collects another. That is 8 rebounds in quarter number 1 for the preseason Big East Player of the Year.
She's sneaky, the stats she compiles.
Oh, the move by Heckel. She can't convert as she hung in the air. And that is how the first quarter will end. The 12 is not a big deal to him, he said, which imagine saying that.
Right.
It is the 30-year gap from 1995 to 2025 to win that amount in that span, the same group. That is the most special.
It's unheard of, yeah. What he and his staff have accomplished here is unheard of.
Panya Davis, the hard take to the rim.
What a strong finish, showing her upper body strength to get that in, while some solid body contact.
Strong fires it inside, having the position is Sarah Williams. She misses out, and 51 wins is the most all-time, a 12-time national champion. That one also historic. KK Arnold.
Here in her sophomore season early on, you could just tell the maturity. You know, what do they say? The greatest thing about freshmen is that they become sophomores. Well, KK Arnold knowing when and when not to, a little bit better already this season.
Sydney Bowles, leading returning scorer for Florida State, has been quiet so far, misses that shot. Here's Kubek, and she will rattle home a 3. (25-18) is UConn's lead. Florida State playing without a starter today, Amaya Bonner. Here's Allie Zabel letting it fly from 3, and defensive rebound there by Rich. Skip it into the front court. Shavers is going to leave it off. Panya Davis getting Williams up in the air. Fastest players on the team, even with the ball in her hands at 6'6", as she goes back to work at the high post, loses her footing, and Arnold is going to come up with a loose ball. Ashlyn Shade stepping into a 3 in rhythm. That is left short. Zabel working hard on her time on the floor. Sarah Strong, that's going to be an offense. Davis was the top recruit in junior college basketball. She makes her way to Tallahassee.
And the 3 returning kids really had a lot to do with bringing these 7 new kids in. And they have melded quickly and nicely with this Florida State culture.
Sarah Strong with the rejection on the other side. She's going to take off to the rim on this side, dropping it off for Williams. The playmaking, unstoppable by Sarah Strong.
What an unselfish pass from Strong. to her teammate, where all Williams had to do was catch and lay it in. She struggled a little bit early on. That's the way to get her confidence going.
That's officially 1,500 career points for Sarah Williams. Now in her 4th season, spent her first 3 at Wisconsin. Strong, looking ahead. Ball finds itself inside Sarah Williams. That was poked away.
An offensive foul.
7 points, 8 rebounds. 7 minutes before halftime. I have a feeling that's going to be a pretty routine goings-on for Sarah Strong. Just like shots like that, holding off her defender, and the turnaround is good. Williams will drive and kick a deep 3 for Bowles. She gets the
here this afternoon.
Florida State has 8 field goals, 5 of them from long range, keeping them afloat in this game on the road against the #1 team in the country. WNBA Finals, and was a big part of that team.
Absolutely, still beloved here in Connecticut. You watch her up and down that sideline. She's in such good shape. She looks like she could still play. Fell down, gets herself to the line.
Emma Risch knocks down the first. She had season-ending injuries, stalling her freshman and sophomore seasons at Notre Dame. But when she was in high school, she was an All-American, a top 20 recruit in the...
That's a ridiculous number from three-point range.
Both her and Tatum Green, Coach Wyckoff is in a new environment in Tallahassee.
And it's nice to see Risch is getting just healthier and healthier. The worst thing for these kids is those kids who get beset by injury. You hate to see it.
Haley Heckel weaves her way through, comes right back out of the paint, gets it back from Fudd. A 3 on the way is not there, and Soleil Williams is now going to sprint up the floor. Shavers, 1 dribble, pull-up 3, not that time, and Zabel has had really positive minutes on the floor, secures another rebound for the Huskies.
Gino Auriemma has been really high on Ali Zabel for some time.
And they're still waiting to unlock her as a shooter as well. Shot 45% her senior season. The McDonald's All-American game 3-point contest winner. As Fudd going back door, she loses the handle.
And Fudd shot 92% from free throw range last year.
Maybe she's inspired by a fellow UConn alum, Nafisa Collier, who became the 2nd player in WNBA history with a 50-40-90 season last season, I should say, 2025 for the Minnesota Lynx.
Tell you what, Nafisa Collier is just a different level. She's unreal.
Absolutely unreal. Back-to-back years, the runner-up for MVP behind Asia Wilson. Haley Heckel bringing the pressure, and she's going to lay it up and in for 2. The UConn Huskies are smothering in the backcourt.
Yeah, Heckel and KK Arnold are a dangerous duo.
Bated breath there for nearly another steal as Shavers with the skip pass. Risch with good rhythm. That's not there. And Alfie is able to pull it in. Working through El Alfie at the high post.
Good decision to not throw that pass off the good Fudd cut. It was well defended by Florida State.
Just beautiful ball movement happening right now for the Huskies. Heckel, the mid-range doesn't fall, and Shavers secures it. And then she's double-teamed in the corner. She's in trouble right now. Heckel threatening to take it away. Obviously a signature victory for Florida State in kind of a new era. Not a transition here. They still have the same high expectations, but with 7 new players. Look at that pass. Unreal. Arnold into Strong.
Spectacular entry pass from KK Arnold.
An example, when you're the post player, you get the position.
Yeah,
you're rewarded with that kind of pass.
That's right. Your teammates will find you.
Sydney Bowles has not found any breathing room against the Huskies in the half court. She turns it over. Here is Heckel again in the passing lane. The up and under is denied and taken away by Florida State. Look at the engine of Soleil Williams bursting down the floor.
Needle, no weak side help coming on that low side.
Nick, it's one of the fun things watching KK Arnold this season. You think about her coming into her own, watching other point guards like Paige and Nika Mule and Caitlin Shen, as well as the Huskies put another one on the board.
Florida State wanted an offensive foul called on Fudd, pushing off with the right arm.
Fudd with 11 points, tied for the game high with her teammate Sarah Strong picks it off, looking to go coast to coast here, and gets the foul. This with the kind of potential she has. It is boundless.
The question is, how many times will she be put on that list and win the award? That would be my question.
She converts on the three-point play, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. For Sarah Strong, just an all-around player in every sense. 3 minutes to play in the first half. UConn again steals in this first half alone. Now 10 seconds to shoot for Florida State. Sydney Bowles calls her own number. That's too strong. And ripped away, it is Panya Davis at this level, learning the physicality of this game, but to continue playing in basketball. So she left that behind.
Can't imagine how good she was at netball, because she's pretty darn good at basketball.
Sometimes you find yourself down a studying rabbit hole. For me, it was watching netball competition. Here's Strong taking off. And UConn now firmly in command, 42-25. Florida State had been sticking around for much of this first half despite shooting woes and turnover woes. Here is Kaylee Heckel coming up with it again. Fudd, the trailer, wide open. She's got it.
Doesn't take much for Fudd. She needs just a split second.
That is her second triple. She's got 14 points, 3 assists as well in half number 1. Another steal. Fudd in the passing lane, and she takes it all the way.
UConn's defense has done that historically, just smothering half court, steal it, and it turns it into offense.
This is overall an 18-2 run for the UConn Huskies. Heckel is calling out for some help. It comes in the fourth. Shoot on the shot clock. Looking to lob it into Treadwell. Another steal for the Huskies and a 3-on-2 opportunity. Heckel stops on a dime. The extra pass. Here's Fudd. Not that time from 3.
Gotta love the pass from El Alfie, though. Unselfishly, she could have shot a layup. Why not give it to Azzi Fudd, one of the best shooters ever?
Soleil Williams. Williams, the leading scorer, leader in assists on this team. Injuries to return this season.
Yeah, not only a crowd favorite, a team favorite, a program favorite, just a great kid who's had a lot of bad luck in her career, but she keeps fighting.
But the student section saying happy birthday to her.
Doesn't happen often, right?
Zabel trying to get the step along the baseline. She'll kick it over to Fudd. 4 seconds to shoot. One dribble pull up. Too smooth from Fudd. Now up to a 22-point lead. Just a couple possessions, it feels like minutes ago, as Bowles can't counter, and flying in for the rebound is Ducharme.
Good hustle for the rebound by Ducharme. Love the box out by El Alfie to clear out the space in there.
One of those things you wish was a box score stat every once in a while. Fudd's going to take some time off the clock, about a 2-second difference shot game clock. Trying to take Bowles off the dribble. Puts it up and in for 2. A 51-point first half for the UConn Huskies, who looked like there were no answers to stop them.
I tell you what, we saw them miss a bunch of layups early.
Half alone. She had 9 rebounds in game number 1, 13 double-doubles last season. She's a machine in that regard, as UConn with the basketball. First possession of the second half. Put their foot on the gas in the second half of the second quarter. And Sarah Strong continuing where they left off with that triple.
You're going to have to contest more than that against Sarah Strong.
Soleil Williams trying to find any kind of breathing room. Sydney Bowles gets herself into the paint, kisses it off glass for 2.
Way to use the glass, Florida State.
In the first half, Williams, the leading scorer for the Seminoles, with 7 points, but they shot just over 30% in that first half, while UConn held to 35% shooting in that first quarter, 63
on the floor.
KK Arnold now engineering this offense. Straight on three by Fudd, just rims out. That was halfway down. An offensive rebound. Sarah Williams using every bit of that pivot. Still can't get it to fall at the rim, and the rebound snared by Panya Davis, pushing it up the floor. Bulls trying to go one-on-one. Well contested at the free throw line. That doesn't go, and KK Arnold off to the races. Has one to beat, the sidestep, and finish at the rim.
I like the way she used the glass there. Really good finish on the run by Arnold.
Good look. Jasmine Shavers knocks it down for three. Back the other way. Hope he didn't blink. Ash, she is just lightning quick with the ball in her hands. You add that to her defensive intensity and how she turns that in to eruption at the rim. A great example there.
And she's done such a better job of controlling her body.
Sarah Strong in the passing lane says, I'll take that for my team, going all the way to the cup.
And knocking that ball away.
That is 12 steals for the UConn Huskies as Davis is just
Or can finish, avoiding any contact.
Sarah Williams with another rejection. Here is Shavers launching a three, and the rebound tracked down by Shade. (58-32) is UConn's lead at this point in the third quarter. Strong giving a look inside. Such a masterful playmaker. Us before this game about Sarah Williams, where she was last season at Wisconsin in the 99th percentile in usage rate. Now, how is she going to react when she has fewer touches, when the offense isn't built around her?
And the intensity level here is different. You have to go hard every single possession.
It's different when you go from a program that has struggled to win to the defending national champions. No doubt about that. Strong, able to feed Sarah Williams perfectly. That's lighting up. All right, now we're ready. Sarah Williams, 4 points, 2 for 7 shooting, reached 1,500 career points in the first half. Last year averaged nearly 20 and 10. Here getting in the passing lane, showing it all off. Count it.
Gets her team. It's interesting, you know, she's missed a couple layups here early in the game, yet finishing there on the break while getting bumped does a lot for your confidence.
63-32 is UConn's lead. It's going to be.
Yeah, Florida State has done a really good job of not having those sorts of turnovers that certainly will lead to havoc on the other end. They've made better decisions.
Zabel lines up a three, and it's a 10-0 run for the UConn Huskies, who closed the first half on a 22-4 burst. And there hasn't been an answer for their dominance. Soleil Williams inserted into the starting lineup, waits for a screen from Treadwell, will reject it. Here's Ellie Kubek, no good from long range. An offensive rebound by Risch. But coughed up, bodies flying. Midway point of this third quarter here in Stores. The Huskies with two 20-point scores apiece. One of them is Azzi Fudd, adding to her tally. Now 23 with her third triple. Kubek almost turns it over. It has been relentless pressure by the UConn Huskies in the backcourt. And I know it's only early November, Meg, but they have not looked fatigued at all. That was something that Azzi Fudd talked about after the Louisville win, where she said there were times where the communication broke down, and I blamed our fatigue.
Yeah, they don't look fatigued here at all today.
Oh, what a dime up. Gorgeous basketball by the defending champions. And you alluded to it, Meg, maybe speaking it into existence, of Williams finding that kind of rhythm right now in the third quarter. She's in the passing lane once more, showing her activity. Risch lets it fly for three. UConn back with the basketball. That ended, or at least paused, the 15-0 run by the Huskies, but Strong is wide open. She can't knock it down, though.
Bench right now.
36 points off turnovers for the UConn Huskies. You think back to the second quarter, they led just by 6, 29-23 against the Florida State Seminoles at the 6:19 mark of the second quarter. They've not been messing around since. 3 on the way and good for Jasmine Shavers and the Seminoles. They've got now 8 threes of their 12 total buckets in this game. Khalees Fisher, her first action, turns it over. And up the other is Soleil Williams. First action of her UConn career for Khalees Fisher in the corner. Here's Heckel driving to the rim and dropping it through.
Impressive the way she cut through the defense with the behind the back changing direction in traffic.
Shifty player is Heckel, trying to catch up to Bowles, who takes some contact, can't get it to fall, but 6 points, now 7 points, 6 rebounds for Davis. Top-ranked player out of junior college. Lob comes inside to El Alfie, but is picked off by Bowles, and another chance to score.
Yeah,
off a UConn turnover.
Yeah, ill-advised pass by Heckel, but well defended by Florida State.
Bowles thought about the step back. It's Tatum Green launching a 3, and she's got it. 9 triples for the Seminoles. They're on an 11-2 run right now here at Campbell. Only 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Fisher looking to settle things down. She'll get it over to Heckel. Heckel calling her own number from the mid-range. Williams with a burst up the floor, and she's going to go 94 feet with some razzle-dazzle at the end.
Love the finish. No one stopped the ball. Heads-up play by Williams.
Khalees Fisher explodes to the rim for 2, and this is the pace we saw to start this game when it was a back-and-forth contest within a couple possessions. This is exactly how Florida State wants to play. Last season, 8th in pace in the nation, also leading the NCAA in points per game. Turn in the corner is Heckel. Look at that speed to the rim, ripped down by El Alfie. A bright spot for Florida State in this game where they have struggled. And goes 2 for 2. And UConn continues to build off its largest lead. Williams slowing it down in the half court for the Seminoles. Williams threading the needle, but that was picked off by the Huskies. Zabel comes up with it.
Yeah, really good team defense there by UConn. Everyone knew where the ball was. Good weak side help.
Zabel sets herself up for a long 2. She drains it.
So much confidence right now, Ellie Zabel.
Zabel was 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting, 4 rebounds as well. She's been active, she's been disruptive, she's forced jump balls.
Yeah, she looks comfortable.
20 seconds to play. That shot no good by Ridd. And shot clock off for Heckel and the Huskies. Heckel, the mid-range is good. She has put together tremendous back-to-back games for the Huskies in her debut for this team. The launch by Bowles hits iron, but on the bench.
Exactly, remember, they are kids.
83-48 is UConn's lead at this point. Risch will drain a 3. UConn shooting 57% for this game. Looking to go to 2-0 this season. Preseason #1 in the AP poll, the 12th time in program history, first since 2017, as Khalees Fisher, the freshman from Baltimore, moving the basketball. Now under 10 to shoot. Zabel trying to get some help inside the paint. Fisher darts through opponents, can't get that to fall. Green is going to take off right to the rim. Scores a...
Love that aggressive take to the rim.
Paige Beckers, and both in Texas at that.
Yeah, two great kids who have gone on to do even better than they did here at UConn. Castle only here at UConn for 1 year, but already making big things happen in the NBA.
Allie Kubek for three, but how about Paige Becker? She was the #1 pick in the Unrivaled draft. She's going to Team Breeze. So I'm excited to see someone like her in particular, with her prowess, how she likes to play, playing in that.
Was out, just committed an over the back call, over the back foul. Really nice box out by Florida State.
If there's anyone who has the instincts, IQ, communication to be pretty lethal when it comes to the 3-on-3 game, Paige is going to be up there for me. Here is Kubek. That is no good. Ducharme secures the rebound and finds Khalees. Fisher. Rookie season of the WNBA as well, the WNBA Rookie of the Year. She's going to have a new head coach, and Jose Fernandez, the former head coach of the South Florida Bulls. And I'm really excited to see how he might transform her game or really utilize her in the best way possible.
Yeah, he's a great coach, a great guy. He's going to do, I think, tremendous things in Dallas. They're going to love him down there.
Well, Coach Auriemma is a big fan of Coach Fernandez. Is really someone who's in his corner, has a ton of respect. So maybe they'll be trading notes, perhaps. 83-58. UConn has been in control since a couple minutes before halftime. But it was a two-possession game as early as 29-23 at the 6:19 mark of the second quarter before UConn put their foot on the gas, and they have not relented yet.
Smart play here by KK Arnold to pull it out and run offense, not to force it.
Nice Brady working through the high post. Ashlyn Shade will now find Ducharme. Bench and its depth. And speaking of Patterson, this is her first time playing in a game, Meg, in 960 days as Kubek attacks the rim for Florida State. Her last game was, she got in against Ohio State in the NCAA tournament on March 25th, 2023. Someone who has been incredibly resilient. First a knee injury, then shoulder surgery. Has missed so much time. Here she gets the touch deep in the paint, puts it up and in.
One of the greatest kids, hardworking, just has had some bad luck, but just, as you mentioned, resilient, just keeps fighting and always has a smile on her face.
She said her goal this season is just to get her legs under her, get in shape, letting the game come to me. The cards fall where they fall, but I want to author my own story, not the player who was beset by so many significant injuries, but had that comeback to become a key member of this team.
And she's a freak athlete. Let me tell you what, the kid can jump out of the gym.
Stories happening right now for the UConn Huskies with Ducharme, the time she is missed with injury, and her and Patterson scoring back-to-back.
And Ducharme knocking down that three today on her birthday, no less.
Here's Kubek for three. That's no good. Ducharme able to snare it. Nearing the 5-minute mark of this game. And in the passing lane, Sydney Bolts up ahead to Tatum Green. She'll take care of it here in the footboard.
Oh yeah, no question about it. She has that ability.
UConn trying to avoid getting to see the matchup between UCLA and Oklahoma. Very much looking forward to that one. You have Lauren Betts and Reagan Beers competing in that game. Sign me up.
Yeah, what a great early season matchup. And certainly teams are not what they're going to become. That guy has certainly done it time and time again, and it's his relentless pursuit. He and Chris Daly have this culture here where just, it's the way that they approach everything day after day after day, and that's what makes them different.
Coach Auriemma said this week he doesn't see angst from this team. He said he's thinking about that 0-2 team after they lost in 2001. That angst to win a national championship was palpable. It was in the locker room, it was on the plane, it was during pickup, it was on summer vacation. It was always there every day, and it's what fueled them. And as he's wont to do, started talking philosophically, is excellent shade scoring on the desire for success and how that all kind of factors into a team chasing back-to-back championships.
Yeah, that can be paralyzing if you have that fear of losing where it stymies you, you know.
64. An ineluctable lead at this point, and UConn really took command in the closing minutes of halftime. It was a two-possession game, 29-23, with the 6:19 to go in the second quarter. UConn closed the first half on a 22-4 run, and it's been all Huskies since.
To a perfectly positioned Ice Brady to finish with her left hand.
She's not really looking rusty right now with all the time that she has missed. Tanya Davis is completely wrapped up by, you never know, he said we're still working and mixing up rotations, how that might be. Don't want anyone to get too stagnant, too comfortable. So everybody's playing for playing time, and
that's earn your minutes as opposed to what he's had the last couple of years. He had to play people because he didn't have enough bodies.
Ducharme snaking along the baseline, looking magnificent here in her UConn season debut.
Her teammates on the bench are loving it. Those are like pictures of what Caroline Ducharme was early in her career.
One of the prize recruits in her class. Soleil Williams knocking down the long-range shot. 3 Seminoles in double figures. She's a leader at 14, 5 of 8 shooting. Now 2 minutes to go here at Gamble.
Nice back cut there by Heckel.
Azzi by Fisher, drops it off for Ducharme. Ice Brady along the baseline, no good from 3. Patterson, a lot of reasons to celebrate for Caroline Ducharme. And she's looked incredibly strong today. 5 points, 2 of 2 shooting, but get this, 6 rebounds in 8 minutes.
Yeah, talk about efficiency.
She's looked confident, she's looked poised, and it looks like she hasn't played only just 15 games the last 2 seasons. Talk about perseverance, but the patience and the belief to see that through, to get back out onto the court with the injuries that she was dealing with.
She's such a smart kid and a smart basketball player, too.
Backdoor is Heckel to perfection, everything but the finish on season. Underneath the defense, Ice Brady.
Boost your confidence.
We know said about Ice Brady early on was that he reminds her of Willis Reed, that she has a, quote, old person's game.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she really does. She's a great passer, particularly from the high post.
Under a minute to play. And Brady securing that rebound. The Huskies from the outset struggle with their efficiency, but were stifling defensively from the tip. Heckel smooth from the mid-range once more. She's got 12 points, the 3rd Husky in double figures on 50% shooting, back-to-back games. 50% from the floor for Kaylee Heckel, the USC transfer.
Good help there by Brady to step up and stop that drive.
Brady, another rebound. The shot clock is off. And the fans and students ready to celebrate on what is already a celebratory afternoon. Banner number 12 is revealed. They back it up with a dominant victory. $99-67 is the final, and the UConn Huskies, the top team in the country, 2-0 this season, leaving no doubts in this one. It was a rout from about the last couple of minutes of the first half, and UConn never looked back. And that was something that came up in their win against number 20 Louisville. They ended up winning on Tuesday 79-66 in the Armed Forces.